For this I used a wool skirt. Of anyone with scissors on hand. I have used this type of material. Her name is Petra. Is a synthetic material. You can also knit it with any omega. Preferably. That is synthetic, but you can also knit it. If you move it with yarn or cotton. Is number 3. And we will also use a 3 mm crochet. Start by ensuring el primer stitch, and we are going to weave the width we need from our pocket. In total I have left 30 chain stitches at the beginning. I upload this as my last chain stitch. I will hold it. 1 2 3 chain stitches. And on the upside down side, start knitting double crochet. Same space. Double crochet. Step to the next stitch but taking the chain stitch from the side. Upside down. You double crochet. Double crochet. 1 for each space. To where we started. I am about to finish the round and in the last chain stitch. What is this one? I leave 5 double crochet. 1 2 3 4. Why 5? Let's move on to the next stitch, which is this. And I will continue to weave it the same time I waste this little piece of wool or this strand that remains. I will continue to weave. Double crochet 1 for each space. Next space. Double crochet to the end. To finalize. Here where I started. Or where I put more like the 3 double crochets. I leave 2 stitches plus 1. And 2 and I'm going up. 1 2 and 3rd chain stitch. What is this? I make the union with a slip stitch. I upload 3 chain stitches. And this is my first double crochet. Where I started. I leave 2 double crochets. To complete the 3 double crochets I need. Step to the next. And in the same space. I leave 3 double crochets. 1 2. And 3. Step to the next space. And I continue to weave. A double hook. For each space. Until we reach where we have the 5 stitches in the corner. And this is round number 2. I have already arrived at where I have the 5 stitches that are from the corner 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going to knit a stitch. And look how I am weaving with a tinted thread. Here was my color change. Step to the next stitch. And you 3 double crochet in the same space. This is the half stitch. Let's knit 1 2. And 3. And here I am going to put a marker so that you can observe where we are left with half of it. Of our fabric, if here it was going to be half of our. Step to the next stitch. 1 2 3. And I continue with a double crochet. To see one step to the next, we will no longer make increases. 1 double crochet for each space. And here is half of the bag. I am about to finish round number 2. And in this last stitch, let's knit 2 stitches. Are of the 5 we had at the beginning 1 2 3 4 5. Then in it, let's knit 1 2 more stitches, yes, to have 3. In this same space, 1 2 and 3. I will close in the third chain stitch. 1 2 3.1 slip stitch. 1 2 3 chain stitches. This is round number 3. Step to the next stitch. You 3 double crochet 1. In the same space 2 and 3. And I will place a marker just so that you can observe where we are left with half on both sides. This is going to be our half. Next double crochet. Next double crochet, and in the middle of the 3 stitches, in this one, which is the one in the center, 3 double crochets. 1 2 3 in the same space. I continue with a double crochet for each space until you reach the other side. I am already arriving from the opposite side, and we will knit double crochet here where I have these 3 stitches. I'm going to stop by to the next stitch, double crochet, and in the one at half, 3 double crochets. If you prefer it, you can put a marker on each double crochet you have, or rather where you have the set of 3 as in this case. You can put the marker here to just continue knitting on the stitch, i.e., you put your marker here as half of the 3 stitches in the stitch that remains in the middle, and you continue to weave. Double crochet here is half. Let's leave 3 1 2 3 double crochet. Y en el stitch that we have half left, I place the scoreboard, and I continue to weave. 1 2. Here is again the stitch of the set of 3, and in the one in the center, 1 2. And in the one where I have half of it left, I place the marker. To see, this marker has something on the tip that does not let in. And I continue to weave until reaching. On the other side here, we are no longer going to make increases. Only 1 double crochet for each space. I am about to finish the round, which is our round number 3. And here I have again the 3 stitches. I'm going to move on to the one in the middle to knit 3 double crochets in the same space and place a marker Here in the stitch that fits me in the middle. That's where I place the scoreboard. And I continue. A double hook. And close in the third chain stitch. Con slip stitch. Let's go for round number 4. Trace chain stitches. Step to the next stitch. Double crochet. I remove the marker and we are going to knit. 3 double crochet 1, 2 and 3. I put the marker back in place. And I continue to weave. 1, 2. We will be weaving 1 for each space until we reach to the set of 3, 3. 4 and here where it is. The set of 3 in the center stitch. 3 double crochets in the same space. There I place. In the mid stitch. A marker. So. And I continue to weave. To where my next marker is. 1 double crochet for each space. I have arrived. Where I have the following marker. I will withdraw. And to knit 3 double crochets in the same space. To increase. And in the stitch in the center. I put the marker back in place. I continue weaving. 1 double crochet for each space. To my next marker. Three double crochets in the same space. And I reposition the marker in the stitch that fits me in the middle of the 3 and so on. I will be weaving round after round. How many rounds are we going to leave him? Well, how big do you need your bag in this case? I am going to add 1 more round. Yes, then we will weave a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. With the same technique. I show you I already have in total 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is where we start. On the other side we have the same amount 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Once you have the width you need. In this case we will see how much I have in total. I have a total of 25 centimeters, which is the equivalent at approximately 10 inches. Yes, that's what we have. And wide. I am 11 centimeters. You can leave more rounds. Or fewer rounds depending on your case. Now we will no longer need. These pants can be removed. Let's knit 2 chain stitches. And in this stitch I have of the chain stitches. I'm going to put it this way sideways to facilitate, but we will highlight it. A loop. Sideways and I start lifting a loop. 2 lazada. 3. I close. Yes sûr. Step. And you the next stitch. Double crochet. Next. Double crochet, bind back. 3, 4, 5. And in stitch number 6, which is the following, is where I once again highlight. It should be set aside to make it easier. I lift a laced stitch. 2 lazada. 3. I close. Yes sûr. Step to next and you double crochet 1 2. 3 4 5. Why 6? Let's see 5. Let's leave it 5 1 2 3 4 5 hours. Yes. In 06 is where I will raise into you. I was already passing it. 1 2 3. I close. Yes sûr. I withdraw my marker. And I continue. 1 2 3 4 5. Number 6. En relieve. 1 2 3 insurance closure. And I pass by and continue to weave. Until the end of the entire round. 2 3 4 5. Y en relieve. I make a poof 1 2 3. I close it and look how easy it is. We will continue to weave. Until the end of the round. Once I'm done. With the round I have not had enough. No stitch and I didn't need it either. 1 2 3 4 5. And instead of uniting on the chain stitches I am going to join on the poof. I make a slip stitch 2 chain stitches. And I take the poof back from side to side alone. With a loop first. And I start lifting a poof 1 2. Three closure insurance. Step to the next stitch. You double crochet. Next double crochet. Next double crochet are 5 pounds 3 4. 5 and about the poof. I take again. From side to side and lifting a loop. 2 lazada 3. Closure assure. Step to the next stitch. And I start knitting. Double crochet will be 5 1 2 3 4. Why 5? And here I pick up the puff again. From side to side. And I lift 1 2 3 and close and so on. I will continue to weave. The whole round. This is already round number 7. I am about to finish the round and we will do the same process to close. Let's ignore the 2 chain stitches and close with a stitch over the poof stitch. And we will continue. I am going through round number 8. I upload chain stitches all over. The rounds are going to start anyway. I take the poof from side to side with a bow before. And raised stitch 1 2 3 insurance closure. Step to the next stitch and I start knitting a double crochet for each space until you get to the next poof. And so we will be lengthening as much as we need. Step to the next poof. And I lift again 1 2 3. I close. I ensure and continue. I will take advantage a little and I'll come back to show you how we are going to do the top. I show you how long I have. Everyone will leave it bind. More or less, depending on your tastes and needs. Now I'm going to finish this far and we're going to do The cord part. If you are liking this video, like and share on your social networks. To make the lace of the bag, we are going to place where we start. Half of it will remember these 3 stitches that later became this guide. Well then, this is going to be half of the bag where we are going to start. We are not going to take this puff, we are only going to take the 5 double crochets. And I'm going to start knitting 2 chain stitches first. Step to the next stitch. Double crochet, next double crochet. And at the same time I'm going to lose this little piece of wool that remains. Let's knit 5 double crochet first. 2. Here. Now we have these 2 chain stitches, count as 1.1234. And 5 double crochets. There it is. We are going to take and to knit the following stitch. As appropriate, we take and weave the stitch puff. The following 5 double crochets. I leave them normal 1, 2, 3, 4. Why 5? And there will only be 2 rounds. This one is on the right side. And the next round will be on the side. Upside down 2 chain stitches. Tour. And this first space I pass it on. And in which it follows. Double crochet to complete the 5, 2, 3, 4. And 5 we are going to fold it in half like this. You're a yes 1, 2, and 3 I close a sure abro. And I continue to weave the 5 stitches that remain inside 2, 3, 4. And finally on my chain stitch. What was the second chain stitch? The double crochet. 2 chain stitches I turn and repeat. Double crochet. Double crochet wins 3, 4, 5. L puff. Yes sûr. And I finish with 5 stitches on the edge. If you notice, it is very easy. Now let's paint the cord as much as we need it. And this is how it will look. I have already finished the length I need. I'm going to leave it short to make it juvenile. But everyone can leave him as long as you need. I will leave a little more, because with the same one I am going to make the union on the opposite side, locating where the center was. What is this in this case? We are going to locate them there. And we will knit stitch by stitch. I will try to bring it a little closer. Then let's move on to where we have the double crochets. And on the other side also my double crochet. And I make the union. Next stitch. On the other side. And I make the union. Next stitch on the opposite side. And I make the union. And so I will make the union. Stitch by stitch, look how easy it is. Let's make the union. Next. Until the end of. Here is the stitch of the puff. On the upside down side. Let's start at this stitch. Yes then. I'm going to quit. Let's count 1 2 3 3 4 5 6 7. In round number 7. What is this? Is where we are going to start putting this. Closure. Yes, then we are going to leave him. These rows and right here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Let's respect this part. We will respect. What do you think? 1 2 3 stitches. Yes. Here in this part we have 3 of us and here we start. And we will be weaving a stitch chain. And let's take the embossed stitch. I will try to bring it closer so that it can be seen. Why you single stitch? Step to the next embossed stitch. Single stitch. This stitch, which is the stitch puff. I also take it. Why you single stitch? So. Next. Single stitch. Next. Single stitch and so on. I will continue to weave. And single stitch. For each space. Always taking el stitch en relieve. I have arrived. Almost to where the poof is. And I continue single stitch. This is the poof. Why single stitch? And we are going to do it up to here, up to 2 stitches. Before. If you look at them, we respect. And here are 2 stitches before. This is where I'm going to end up. At the end of the round, I make a chain stitch. Tour. And I'm going to start knitting from this first stitch. Single stitch. Next. Single stitch. Next single stitch and so on. I will continue to weave until the end of the round. I will not make increases or decreases. Solo and single stitch. For each space. At the end of the round, I make a single stitch. And finally single stitch. A stitch chain. I turn and repeat the same process again. Single stitch. Why single stitch? We will not make increases. We will not make any decreases either. I will continue to weave it. To cover the bag part. I.e., I am going to cover this part. I'm going to go a lit lead and come back. To continue with the process. In this stitch I have already placed a button. That I will withdraw later. So that you can have the option of leave it with button. Or if you prefer a good brooch, you can also do it. Put. I show you up to this stitch I have 37 rounds. And I'm trying to make it just right. When I close. On the front side. The round I am going to start knitting. So. Then you are more or less going to calculate. To cover a little. Are approximately 4 fingers. What it will cover if you can leave it longer. If you move it. I leave that one to your decision. There are people who like it to be covered almost the bottom, but you decide. Well, I will bring it a little closer and we will continue. Decreasing in this part. I make a chain stitch twist. And this first space I'm going to take a stitch without knitting. Next stitch without knitting. And I close, and here I am going to place a marker. Just to remind you that this was the last stitch that and continue to weave the rest. Unsingle stitch for each space to the last 2 stitches. To finalize, we will do the same process. Next 2 stitches are missing, nothing more, unstitch. Next unstitch. And close. A chain stitch. Next, I leave stitch on. Next unstitch. And I close and place a marker there. To remember, that's where I started. Or rather, it is the first stitch. And I continue weaving until I reach to the last single stitches. And here it begins to form. I am about to complete the round. I only have these 2 stitches left. Double crochet on. Next double crochet on. And close. A chain stitch, and I will try to extend this part a little longer. Therefore I will take 1, 2, 3. And I close. Let's place the marker. And from now on they will be woven in 3s at the beginning. And I continue to weave a single stitch for each space. And this is how it will look like. I am already at the end of the round, and I will do the same process as at the beginning. 1, 2. I withdraw the marker. And in the last stitch 3 unstitches. And close a chain stitch. Tour. And beginning of the same. In the same way. Round 1. 1, 2, 3. And I close and reposition the scoreboard, and I'm going to do it for about 4 more rounds. And I'll be back to show you how it's turning out. I show you what you did. Advantage. I have 16 stitches left in this space. How can you tell? You can already see it in this round part. Let's take into account those 16 stitches we have. And we are going to divide it between 2. Then I upload. And I start knitting. I will have 8 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, and I close. Step to the next single stitch, then I would take 2, 2 single stitch. 3. Y4. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches. And step 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And at number 5, I make a single stitch. And so I continue. But before continuing, for the people who are going to put the button on it, have to verify that the button between for that space. In my case it went in perfectly well. That means I must continue. I continue. And here I have the last 3 stitches. 1, 2. I make the decrease. And close. So yes. Then it is necessary to verify nothing more than that I have left of the from the same place the same amount of stitches. Here I have 4, and on this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a stitch. I'm going to leave it like this. In this case I'm going to stay on one side with 4, of the other with 5. But if you move it well, then you can leave it at that or try to balance them. How we can balance it? Not doing a reduction to the best in this part. And reducing on the other side, yes. Now I will give round. And in this round only, I pass a stitch without knitting and in which single stitch follows. Single stitch y single stitch. On chain stitches. 1 2 3 4 single stitch and I continue. Single stitch. Single stitch step. And on the scoreboard, a single stitch like this chain stitch. Tour. I pass a stitch and in the one that follows, I continue. And I'm just going to knit. In this case this round. Stitch step in the one that follows. Single stitch and this is how it would look like. In this part, yes. This is how it will look like. Now I am going to place the button at the distance where I left off. The hole to show you what it looks like in this stitch. We will have these two options. To place button or pin it. Friends, I want to show you the first option. Of this beautiful bag I have placed it in this part. A pom-pom. But if you notice it is very easy and it is painful. And look how beautiful it looks. Now let's remove the button. And let's put the brooch on it. So you can appreciate what it looks like. I show you. Let's go for the second option. I have already completed exactly the same process, only at the end instead of knitting it. The slip stitch, I have single stitch. One single stitch for each space, yes. Then I show you this next option, do not. I commented on how to knit the single stitch that goes around, but it is exactly taking the same stitches as the slip stitch. Solo con single stitch. Now this is how we have our brooches. Where you can buy them. In the grocery stores. Yes, preferably look for one from the center. Because that's where they have more. In case at the grocery store near your home do not have this type of brooches. Don't worry, take a screenshot of your screen and tell or ask him, please, to the person in charge of the grocery store that get you this type of brooches. If they can do it with their suppliers, it is so. Well, they are very easy to obtain for them, and because if you are close to the center, I will recommend going to a grocery store near downtown. These are the materials that integrate our brooch, are pressured, and in case of not having them, for example, of being made very difficult, put them in well, you can support yourself with tweezers. Tweezers you have at home, yes, tweezers we don't need a scraper or anything like that, just tweezers. Let's separate our brooches in this way, and the first brooch will fit this one. Let's try to get it in here. And let's focus it if it fits us in the middle. Then let's focus it or try to focus it. This brooch, and we are going to place these through the holes. A little patience, so that you can integrate them to see. We'll go the other way around, yes. First go these. That we are going to put under pressure once they sound. Well, we are going to integrate them, and on the lower side We will integrate these. Yes, then preferably inside. For example, in this case, I don't know if you can see that a single stitch is here. And this will make it easier for you. That can enter all the way to the other side. Look. It is possible to observe. And with this, you can now place this in the top press and close. And how do I comment? You can close it with your hands under pressure, or you can support you with tweezers. If you are going to do it with tweezers, I recommend putting a little piece of cloth up here, so you don't get ugly this midwife. The other party, how are we going to put it on? I'm going to show off these. Let's check to make sure we have half of them left. Then we have these lines. Here would be our half. We are going to close, and we will see. To stay in this stitch, yes, good. What I am going to do is to place it to stay in this stitch in the center. In this way. Step. And on the other side I do the same process. I can pass here, look. I'm going to try to make it look sideways so that you can observe it. And I pass it at the bottom. We only open. First hang as hard as you can, and then we fold these laminites. And this is how it will look like. I show you here I have already finished. The brooches have already been closed. And this is how it looks. The final result. And what do you think? This is a nice idea. Even if, let me comment, that in this stitch I did have to close with tweezers. Pressure because one of the holes. It was very tense and I could not close it with my hand. If you have a riveting machine at home, use it. If not, good, then with great care and tweezers, you can press. With this I say goodbye as usual. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, I will ask you to help me by sharing on your social networks. Support me with that. Don't forget. Subscribe to this channel. If it's the first time you see me, well, I invite you to subscribe. Activate the notification bell that appears at the bottom. And leave me a like in support. Remember that by leaving me your like or dislike, you can help me decide which projects are that I can continue to upload. See you in the following video.